Basically, I'd never thought about it because I used to have slightly longer hair on top. So I'd never noticed a bald patch or anything like that. But then I started work on a TV show called Hollyoaks, and very kindly, on day one, they decided to shave my head. And about a week later, I'd actually booked to go on summer holiday with my wife, and off we went into the nice sunshine in Italy. And I suddenly realised how sunburnt I got on my head. I just went and sunbathed as I always do all day. And literally, I do a flop and drop holiday. I literally take a book and go and sit on the beach and read. And got back, and it was a little bit red on my arms, a little bit red on my face. I was, oh, that's fine. Got in the shower, and it was literally like Armageddon had taken root into my head. It was incredibly painful. And, so then for the rest of the holiday, I was there putting suntan lotion on my head. And, sure enough, because you're a bit hot and sweaty on holiday as well, all the sort of holiday stamps from me on holiday, I do look rather like a Mekon. You can kind of see all the scalp coming through. I said I was in a lucky situation in that it wasn't incredibly evident until I put my head down. When I put my head down, you could see that it was thinning, especially in certain lights. So it wasn't, the most drastic situation. It wasn't like, you could fry an egg on my head. But at the same time, I think like anybody, when they pick up a niggle, once I noticed it, it's all I could notice. My dad has hair on top of his head, but it's not a lot. So I would have always had hair, but it would have thinned and thinned and thinned to a point that, I would have shaved my head anyway because I think it looks slightly better than a comb over. And that would have had a negative effect in that from a career point of view, it would have restricted some of the roles I could do. From a personal point of view, I would have been a bit gutted. I'm not going to deny it. I've always liked having a full head of hair. I've had it all my life. I did ring other people as well because it was an unknown quantity to me. I knew nothing about the entire industry. So I did contact a few other people, and like with Craig, sent some photos. Immediately, everybody else says, hey, you need a 25 grand hair transplant, you need a 10 grand hair transplant, you need a 30 grand hair transplant. I was like, oh, fine enough. And then, luckily for me, I found someone who was based down the road from me. So I thought, I'll go and just get that second opinion and see what they think. And to his credit, Craig could have said, yes, you need a 20 grand hair transplant. He didn't. He said, you need to get treatment that's going to cost you the same as a gym membership. And, it doesn't help his bank balance as much. And it was great for me as well, because actually what he did was he saved my hair. Because if I'd gone and seen these other people, they would have put follicles from the back and side of my head onto the top, where there were already existing healthy follicles, but just they weren't producing as many hairs as they used to. And what the end result would have been is that the ones they put in, like weeds in the garden, would have killed off the ones that were already there and healthy. So actually having a hair transplant would have had a hugely negative effect because it actually would have made me more bald. It would have killed off the healthy hairs that were there. My first impressions of MH Clark Clinic was I actually wanted to buy the place and convert it into a house. It's in a beautiful setting in rural Cheshire. Absolutely lovely. As I say, when I walked in, it's discreet. It's not like you walk through and there's, cheerleaders welcoming you so everybody knows, which could be a bit embarrassing. It's very discreet, it's very professional. The main thing for me is that it's incredibly honest. From day one when I walked in, I felt like I could trust the people that were advising me. And, to me, the biggest reflection on that was the fact that they didn't chase a quick buck like a lot of other people in the industry do. I've got friends who have had treatment with other companies, not always the best treatment. And it's because those companies have been chasing a quick buck. Because it is a relatively new industry, it's not been around for all that long, it is relatively new. There are going to be good people, there are going to be bad people, like any industry. The one thing I can say, and I knew this within 5 minutes of meeting the team and Craig, was that this was one of the good guys. And, like anything in life, once you've found somebody who is not only good at their job, but also professional and showing integrity, you stay with them. So with my initial consultation with Craig, it was a case of walking in. I'd come in expecting him to say, yes, you need a hair transplant. and it's going to cost this much. This is when we can fit you in. This is the process you can expect, because that's what I'd been told by other people. And when I came in to see Craig, it was literally a case of shaking hands, and pretty much the first words out of his mouth was, "You don't need a hair transplant. What you need is herbal medication, laser treatment." And half of me was like, brilliant, that's great to hear. But then half of me was like, oh, I'm not sure I believe him. But what he then did is he got out some of his equipment, which takes up like extreme close-ups of your follicles and on your hair, on your head, and did readings and measurements to show the science behind it, if you like. So it wasn't just a kind of like sticking a finger in the air and seeing what he thought. It was it was backed up by science. And sure enough, took his camera, put it against my scalp, and did read the health of the follicles. And it was even apparent to me, who's a complete and utter layman, that you could see all the follicles were healthy and alive. The one thing that was wrong with the healthy follicles was that they were producing 2 or 3 hairs rather than 3, 4 or 5 hairs in certain areas. So after the consultation, I literally booked my first treatment appointment there and then on the day, with a view to taking all the all the treatment home, which I need to take home. And then in terms of getting the actual laser, that was booked in there and then on the day. Primarily because I had complete faith in what I was being told, and I had complete trust in what I was being told, and I didn't need to go away and think about it. I was told I could go away and think about it. I didn't have to jump in with 2 feet, but within 5 seconds, I knew that I could trust these people, and that I could trust Craig, and that worst case scenario, it wouldn't work. I still had other options. That was the best thing for me, was that actually I wasn't being told it has to be this and that's it. It's your last chance saloon. I was being told this is what will work, but even if it doesn't, there are other things we can do down the line. So to me, it was a no-brainer of taking the most unintrusive and natural remedy I could. When I say laser, it's not getting zapped. It's just literally you're sitting there underneath essentially a light. That's the first part. That's the most inconvenient part, because that's the bit where you have to leave the safety of your own home. The rest of it is essentially wake up in the morning, have a shower, wash my hair. I have to use a different shampoo to what I used to use. So this time I use a shampoo which is a DHT blocker. Then I use, after I've had my shower and I've dried my hair, I use a conditioner, which you put in your hair. And then you put in a ointment, which is essentially this one here. So that's basically my morning, as well as having a quarter of one of these pills. That's my morning process. Then in the evening, I have to put the solution back in my hair, as well as taking 3 herbal tablets: zinc, milk thistle, and I'm cribbing it, something else. Haven't got my glasses on. So that's it. So literally my hair restoration treatment is laser once a week for 40 minutes. And then apart from that, taking 3 1/4 pills and putting hair solution on my hair twice a day and washing my hair. It's quick, it's easy, it takes no time at all. Within literally a day, it was such a part of my daily process that it doesn't even occur. Even on a Friday night when I'm blotted, I still remember to put in my lotion. It's such a part of my daily routine now. So it's not difficult, it's not intrusive, and it's easy. I'm so chuffed with the results I've got. I mean, I'm still in the TV show, so they keep shaving my head. And, I'm able to sunbathe now without getting sunburned. No, to be honest, I am really, really pleased with it. And what I really like is it hasn't been, like this big dramatic before and after, because it's a gradual process. It looks completely natural because it's not an artificial remedy. It's one where basically I came to see MHR and they gave me back the head of hair that I had when I was 18 years old. So it's not something else being put in place. It's a completely natural process of bringing me back to, essentially my prime, I suppose. Why wouldn't you try to do something that actually means that you can be the best version of yourself for as long as possible? It's the same way of going to the gym, the same way in, if I'd had I did have a car crash, many years ago and smashed all my front teeth. First thing I did, I went to the dentist and I got caps. Why would you purposely go out of your way not to do something which could actually benefit you and make you feel more confident and also looking the best version of yourself? To me, it's just a no-brainer. And, I would say to anybody out there, the main thing is don't think it's something that, only rich people can afford. I'm an actor. Despite misconceptions, we don't earn that much anymore nowadays. And it's not this, it's not like you have to go and take out a mortgage to pay for this. It's, it's an ongoing treatment. It's probably less than a lot of gym memberships. So why not buy yourself some trainers and go for a run rather than going to the gym and get hair restoration? Which would you rather have? You can have both. It's not, so cost ineffective that it's impossible. It does fill me with confidence. I have no problems now. I've done scenes on TV where I've been, out in the peeing rain and having to pick somebody up off the ground. So a full head shot to camera. I've got no problems doing that now. The main thing I'd like to say about my hair restoration process and experience is thank you to Craig and the team. They took what, if I'd taken a different path, could have been an incredibly negative experience. I could have ended up having some backstreet hair transplant, which actually not only might have been really bad, but also, did more harm than good. Instead, I've come out with a treatment process which not only has given me great results, but has given me results beyond my expectation in that actually it's not false. It's me for the rest of my life. And all it is Craig and the team being able to, revitalize existing follicles and existing hairlines. And to me, that's been huge. I mean, will I keep coming here for the rest of my life? Yes, I will. Will I have a hair transplant down the line? I'm hoping not need to. But if I ever were to, I know the man and I know the company that I'll be coming to.